Hey everybody, Ben here with a review of Savi's Workshop lightsaber. Just real quick, I want to shout out to my wife. If it weren't for her, we would have never taken this trip. She surprised me out of the blue, and it was definitely one of the most amazing experiences of my life. If you have not been to Galaxy's Edge and you're a Star Wars fan, this is 100% something that you have to do. Have to. I've just been so ecstatic. The whole time I've been home, I want to go back so bad. It was amazing. Secondly, if you like reviews and you want to see some cool models, custom models, lightsabers, Star Wars, Star Trek, any toys that I have here, I'm going to be doing more reviews in the future, so please like this video and subscribe for more content in the future, and be sure to ring the bell if you want notifications. I know they get kind of annoying, so if you don't want to ring the bell, it's totally cool. Just subscribe so that you see the new videos whenever you jump on YouTube. So first off, lightsaber costs $200, and in my opinion, I believe that that is well worth the price for the features that you get compared to some of the other sabers. That is definitely an amazing price. If you're looking for a lightsaber that has the kyber crystal in it and you're looking for a custom saber, you're going to be spending quite a lot of money, and it's going to be way more than $200. So I'm super happy about everything you have here, everything that you get with the saber. So let's look over the things you do get. I want to show you this stand here that does not come with it, nor does this display here. This right here is a custom display which I've made. This is a prototype for a new display that I'm making that will be up on my eBay store within the next few weeks, I'm hoping. And I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check that out. Right now I have some pretty cool monster trucks, but today we're talking about Star Wars. So everything that you get for $200, for starters, you'll get this super cool pin. A lot of people collect these pins. If you know about the pin collecting community, you'll know that there's a lot of them, and they love super exclusive pins. So this is a super exclusive pin that you'll only be able to get if you build a saber. And there are 4 different types. This type is the one that comes with my saber, which I built a Jedi-esque saber. There are 4 different styles. They call them different things. I like to call this the Jedi one. There's also a Sith one. And then there's elemental in nature is what they actually call it. That one has leather and bone. It's something like a Wookiee Jedi would carry. And lastly, they have another that is like a temple guard would have. So it's ancient. It also has inscriptions that enhance the force within the saber. And so all those are really cool, but I had to stick with the Jedi version because I am a light side user and I do not use the dark side of the force. So let's look at all the things you get for $200, which again, I think that is an amazing price. So you get your main hilt here. This is the inside. This is what's going to make your whole saber work. And that is pretty user friendly. You have your batteries here at the bottom that just kind of pops out, and it stays in there pretty nicely. I don't really mess with it because I don't need to yet. And so that's the base of it. And then you're going to have choices of emitters. And these go on the top. This is where your lightsaber blade will pop out of. And when you choose, you can choose between this or another style. And each of the 4 different styles has 2 choices of emitter. So I chose this one because I like Anakin Skywalker, and that's pretty similar to that. And that's why I chose that one. And then you have these here, which you have 4 choices of. And both of these can either go on the top or the bottom side of your saber. So if you want your grip up on the top, that can go up on the top. And if you want this on the top, you can have that one on the top, which is my personal preference. I'll go ahead and put that together in just a moment to show you what it looks like. So you get 5 of those pieces. You also have an emitter, which you have 2 choices again. I chose this one with the D-ring. There is also another choice where you can buy the belt clip and it'll clip on with the little circle and it'll kind of float there like it did in episode 1, 2, and 3, which I like a lot, but this saber is very heavy. So I kind of prefer the D-ring for these sabers because it is so heavy. Now, the belt clip that you get over there at Galaxy's Edge, you can actually, they didn't do a good job at letting me know, but it does actually work for the D-ring or the circle. So I wouldn't worry about that. If you want to get that, it works perfectly fine. If you are looking for different options, I do have a couple of belt clips that I'm going to be putting on my eBay, and those are a little bit cheaper than the ones you find, but they're a lot more sturdy. And again, I'll leave that in the description. Another thing that you get, so you get your 5 pieces, you get your hilt, and this is another one of the last pieces. This is your switch, and there are 2 different versions of that. I chose this one because it has this guard here. If you're playing with your lightsaber, it's easy to knock it and make it turn off. So that's one thing that I really like about this guard, is that will prevent that for the most part. And then you also get 1 Kyber crystal. I chose purple like Mace Windu. And then I also bought a second crystal, which is this green crystal, because when you change the crystals, you actually change the color of your blade too. So that's something that you might want to collect, which I will be doing. I only have 2 right now. I should have 1 in the mail, and I'll keep collecting as time goes on, and I'll hopefully build up all the different colors. And another thing, there is also different shapes, so it's pretty fun to collect these. And if you have a holocron, you can put them in the holocron, and there's different Jedi and Sith that will talk to you. They give you their wisdom. So this green crystal here, I'm not sure who it is. I haven't put it in the holocron, but it could be Qui-Gon Jinn or it could be Yoda. This one, purple, very rare, so usually you're gonna get Mace Windu. Then of course with the red, you have Darth Sidious, Darth Maul, Darth Vader, and the blue you have Anakin Skywalker and a couple of other favorites, of course. I haven't gone through all of them, and I don't have a holocron, so I'm not too sure about that side of these products. And you'll also get a 31-inch blade. Now, you only get the 31-inch blade with the Savi's lightsaber. If you're looking for a longer blade, you'll have to get that from the Toydarian Toymaker, or a shorter blade, that will also come from the Toydarian Toymaker. I don't believe that they sell the 31-inch blade in the Toymaker. I think they only sell 36 and 26 inches. So that's one thing to think about. Although these blades that you get from the Toydarian Toymaker, they will fit in your Savi's lightsaber. So if you want a 36-inch blade, purchase one. It'll fit in your hilt, no problem. If you want a small 26-inch blade, that'll fit as well. And I don't know if these Savi's blades will fit in the Legacy blades, but I do know that the Legacy ones will fit in these ones. I don't have any Legacy sabers. I do want to collect some in the future, but for my first time at Disney World, I had to get the Savi saber. I went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I was thinking I might have gotten Kylo's saber or this, and I pondered it for a long time, and I got this, and I'm so happy that I got this. It's so fun to play with, and it's easy to work with if you're wanting to change out parts and whatnot. So, and last thing that you get with Savi Saber is you get this carrying case. One thing that's really great about this is I was a little worried about taking it home because I do not live in Florida. All I did was I put my lightsaber in this, I carried it on my shoulder, it went through TSA, went on the plane, up above in storage, and it was totally fine on 2 flights home, and they didn't even bat an eye. One of the cool things was when I was there in Orlando getting ready to get on the plane, I could see all the other people with their sabers and their droids going through TSA and getting on the plane just like I was. So there shouldn't really be a problem with you shipping this home or taking it home. One of the cool things is you can actually go up to any of the workers there and ask them to ship it home, and they will ship it home. So they're in the Toydarian Toymaker. If you ask them to, they will ship it home for you. Or you can take it back to where you're staying and your reservation, or they can ship it up to the front gates as well. There's a lot of options there, so you don't have to carry it around all day. Although I did choose to carry it around all day, you might as well, because it is super cool and I still just have to touch it all the time. So let's go ahead and put it together and see how this works. One of the first things you're going to do is you're going to put in your kyber crystal. This is probably the most difficult part, although it is a little weird. Once you get it in, you'll know that it's in. What I like to do is I like to put the top in first, and then I push the bottom. Give it a little clip. Oops. Like I said, this one is probably the most difficult part of putting it together. Just be patient and get it in there, you will. I'm having a hard time here for some reason. You have to make sure that one of the tips is in, and then the other one will go in a little bit easier. But if you have both of them not in, it'll be a little bit harder. So let's go ahead and try doing just the bottom first. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time here. I normally don't. So there we go. I got it in. Sorry, took me a moment, but I got it. And you'll see your color will flash here, and of course your crystal will ignite as well. So with my first choice, I put on my bottom piece, and I like the way that looked. Or actually, I'm sorry, you gotta put on your switch first. So you'll see indicators here on the lightsaber, the red and the blue, and that will align with your pieces of scrap metal. As you can see, there's a red indicator right in there, and that will just line up with the red here. And that just snaps in place. So then you get next piece, you find your blue indicator there, and line it up with your blue indicator here on the lightsaber. Just like that. And so I went for the bottom piece. You can put on the top piece first if you like. And like I said, I really like the grip on the bottom. But if you wanted to, which I haven't actually done, you put it on the top. So you can change it up however you like. And then if you buy extra scrap from Toydarian Toy Maker, all of those are completely compatible as well. So if you want to put like a Sith grip on here and put one of these up on the top, it'll always work. So let's put this top part on. One of the best parts about this blade is how it lines up. When I was building the blade, I didn't actually get it to line up the way that I have wanted it to. But once I got it home and started playing with it a little bit more, I got it to line up exactly the way I wanted it to, and that's a big plus for me. So as you can see, this lines up here. Like I said, I love that. And then this lines up with the front part. That's a big plus for me. I really wanted it to do that. If it hadn't have lined up so nicely, I don't think I would enjoy this saber as much as I do. But as it is, it just is probably my favorite lightsaber out of my collection, and I have 4 of them. So another really great thing about this lightsaber, probably the best thing about it, is the way that the blade attaches. Super easy, and to take it out, just as easy. For anybody who does cosplay or wants to have their lightsaber at hand and be able to show them the blade and all the features of it quickly, this is a huge time saver, and it keeps the immersion. So, you know, when you're unscrewing things and having to put things back on just to get the blade in, it kind of kills the immersion. This, it's in real quick and out, which is super great. My favorite part of the whole process there is the blade. That I can't even explain to you how much I love that. Compared to my other blades, this is the way easiest to put in and take out. That huge for me, huge. Another cool feature is if you do turn it on and there's no blade, you'll get that cool sound because there is no blade. My custom saber, if you turn it on, it will just always turn on. It does not know if the blade is in or out. So between this and my custom lightsaber, it's pretty hard to decide which one I like more. This has some features that one does not, and that one has some features that this one does not. But I think toe to toe, I might go with this one. If I was going to buy another lightsaber and I had the choice between this one or a custom saber, I'd probably go with another one of these because you get more scrap metal. Not only that, there are people online who are custom designing scrap metal parts. They are 3D printing them, and that makes the customization on this just light years ahead of just about any other saber that you can buy. So I would definitely suggest this 100%. Let's take a look at the color. Talk about some of the features. So one of the features that you don't get with some other lightsabers like my custom lightsaber is the scrolling effect. As you can see, the light goes up and it comes back down just like in the movies. To get that effect on a custom saber, that's relatively new for most of the custom sabers, so you're going to be paying a good amount of money. A lot more than $200 than you would for this one. And as you can hear, it's got a super cool sound. Every time you change the crystal, you don't only change the color, but you change the sound as well. And you don't have to change the blade. The blade always stays the same, but it will light up a different color depending on what crystal you have. You also have, every time you have the motion, you have a little bit of flickering effect, which is super cool. Probably won't show. Another effect, you have the clash and flash, which is really responsive. I love that. So that's Mace Windu Blade. I'll show you how easy it is to change everything. Hopefully this time I won't have such a hard time with the crystal. You can take these parts completely apart. I like to just do the middle. So it's a little more realistic. Let's get this guy in there. Alright. Much easier time this time. That's normally what happens. Every once in a while you might wrestle with it a little bit. So as you can see, I'm not going to change the blade, but the color is going to change. Once again, super easy to insert. Now I got green. And if you take a close look, it is a different sound font, which again, to get that in a lightsaber, a custom lightsaber, it's going to run you a lot more than $200. So for it to change color and to change the sound it's amazing. That's a great price for those types of features. Again, you have a little bit of flickering with the sound and also flash and clash. That sounds a little more like the originals, which I really like. So each one of these kyber crystals is going to have a different color, and of course it will have a different sound as well. So the red is not going to sound like the purple, and the purple's not going to sound like the yellow or even the clear, which is super cool. But to wrap it all up, is it worth it? $200? Heck yes. Would I buy it again? Definitely. The only thing is, I would not recommend fighting with these sabers. They have LEDs in the blade to make the scrolling effect, and if you hit it hard enough, you're gonna get some dim spots, and that makes me sad on my blades. I'm sure it'll make you sad on your blades, so I would not recommend dueling with these. A little light, playful dueling if you want. I choose not to. That's why I purchased my custom saber. So like I said, there's pros and cons to each of these. But the pros for this is just way more than any of the cons. The only con really is you can't fight with it. Other than that, it's amazing. It's really heavy, like a real lightsaber. You can change out all these pieces, which is amazing. So if you get some different scrap metal, you can completely change the look of it over time. You can change the color, and those kind of features in a lightsaber is really amazing. I think Disney did a great job in making this as realistic as possible, and they did an amazing job with Galaxy's Edge. Again, if you love Star Wars, you have to go there. I don't get paid to say this. I'm just saying that because I loved my experience and I want to go back immediately. I want to live there. But so to wrap it up, just leave a like and subscribe on this video if you're interested in more reviews. If you have any questions, leave your questions in the comments. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have about my custom sabers, about this saber, any modeling questions. Also, once again, I'll leave my eBay in the description if you're looking for any custom models. In the future, I'll also be doing some of these, which are custom displays for the Kyber crystal, and I also have a few D-ring belt holder clips for the lightsabers. Again, any questions at all, leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for checking out my video, and have a great day, y'all. Thank you.